back the team, sack the board. This has been very common over the years, but once again has become popular amongst the Celtic fan base. In this video I'm going to try to keep it short, but not go too deep into a certain subject, as you'll see when we come to current day. So firstly, I'm going to divide this into 3 sections. Stage 1, 2 and 3. 3 being current day, stage 1 where I'm going to start our perspective on this situation. So stage 1 takes us back to the COVID season where Celtic were going for the 10 in a row. This landmark is, if you're out with the situation and unsure what I mean by 10 in a row, Celtic and Rangers have this thing where both of them have had 9 in a row previous to this season, and Celtic had hit their second 9 in a row and had the chance to actually get the 10 in a row. And Celtic were light years ahead of Rangers during this time. And then rightfully so, the fans claimed that the board's sleeping at the wheel, and I agree with that. They were definitely sleeping at the wheel. They took it way too easy, which it really should have been easy, but it got to that easy that they just kinda got too peaceful with it, and Rangers took advantage, won the title for 1 year, then Big Ange came in and sorted the situation. But we're going to talk about this situation first, the stage 1. So, after many claims of them sleeping at the wheel, during this season we had a very strong disconnect with the board, as we had the saying, sack the board, back the team. Well, as it should be said, back the team, sack the board, should I say. And then we also had maybe more negative ones that were maybe a bit more harmful to the board, which won't be repeated, as I don't know if YouTube allows certain words. And then one that stands out to me that was a display that they had was during the time of COVID. Obviously we had Teams, Zoom, all these calls, and one of the banners had a call with some of the board members and it had disconnect on the fans, which it was a really smart banner and a very good way to summarise the situation at the time, and can be used even in present day, to be fair. And then move on to stage 2. And stage 2 isn't a full-on stage where, there's a whole backstory as such, but it's more of a spike that takes us over from stage 1 into stage 3. And, everything was good during Ange, bar obviously the beginning when he was trying to get used to a squad. It kind of eased the situation between the fan and the board just because it was doing so well on the pitch. And then we had this spike. You wonder, what was the spike? I've not really heard much since COVID with Rangers winning the league that year and current day. Well, the spike was Bernard Higgins was being someone that the board wanted to bring in, and the fans instantly hit back with a negative response, and after a fair bit, the board eventually decided not to bring him in. But it was a spike in the event that became very toxic for that period, with golf balls etc. thrown about. So the disconnect has continued since COVID. It cooled down, had a big spike, and then it's cooled down and it's came back again now, which takes us on to stage 3. And the reason why you may be thinking, why is this video happening now? Why are you talking about this previous stuff? Well, it's to give a rough idea on a whole, short video that I can send someone or anyone can share and be like, okay, this is a rough summary of the last few years of the disconnect, and it's not just this one event, it's 3 events that have happened, and now it's just one big outrage, really. So the present day is the Green Brigade, the Celtic Ultras group, has been banned from matches until further notice. This comes after Champions League matches against Lazio and Atletico Madrid, where Celtic's Ultras, the Green Brigade, had displays the club didn't approve of prior to the matches, against Lazio having an anti-fascist display, and against Atletico Madrid having a Palestine flag display, with thousands and thousands of handed out before the game around the stadium, and then obviously their own Palestine display in support of the voice of the voiceless, basically. As my only comment on the situation will be, Palestinian lives aren't being treated like normal human lives, and all lives matter, and hopefully as many lives are saved on both sides of the Gaza situation. So yeah, that's the deepest I'm going to go in. Do your own research if you want. But yeah, back to the board situation. So, the board don't align and agree with the views of the fans on this situation, and have now taken the action to ban them, which has now harmed the atmosphere on our first game without, which was the St Mirren. I think this either comes out, I believe this comes out after the Ross County game, so I can only really talk about what the atmosphere is like on the home game against St Mirren, where the Celtic fans' atmosphere was it wasn't quite the same. And then obviously very early into the game, the second Ultras group, Celtic, have the boys left in solidarity with their fellow Ultras, the Green Brigade of the other Ultras group, and that was very harmful to the atmosphere. It wasn't a great game as well, which doesn't help, and there's no atmosphere from the two Ultras groups. It could have been harmful, and it could have been a bad result at the end of the day if O didn't get that late winner, and we'll have to see if that continues with a lack of atmosphere. So it is interesting how that situation goes. Hopefully it gets resolved, because you know, it's not great when you go to Celtic Park because the oldies don't sing at all. You know, they just want a couple claps for the players when they walk out, etc. You know, if it was up to them, it would be a library, the atmosphere. So you do need these ultras groups to be on the side of the team, as it could be very harmful and very toxic going to a Celtic game going forward if this isn't done ASAP and a connection can be made between the board and the fans. Maybe some board members may have to be changed, and maybe discussions will be needing to take place between both sides, especially a lot more clearly in the views, as the fans align differently to the board on their views on all the situations. So here's that's been a rough update of the 3 stages and kind of what's happened in the last few years. If there's anything that you think I've missed, feel free to comment it, feel free to DM me on Twitter, etc. So thanks for watching. Remember to subscribe. If you'd like to see some more football content, let me know, but we'll probably be back with some EAFC next video. So thanks for watching. Goodbye.